All right, quick video today, basically talking about why I reduced a portion of my XRP and moved it over into Stellar. So before we get started, go ahead and please hit that like button, subscribe, the notification bell, so you get notified every time I make a new video, and let's jump right into it. So, all right, so first off, I want to examine just the investment aspect, the numbers for XRP compared to Stellar. So for those of you that don't know, Stellar was created by Jed McCaleb, who also created the original Ripple token, basically Ripple cryptocurrency. He was a founder at Ripple. For numerous reasons, he ended up leaving Ripple, going over to Stellar. But because of that, the token structure or cryptocurrency structure is very similar to XRP. All right, so there was originally supposed to be, so as you can see here, there's about 100 billion XRP. I've mentioned in other videos as well, XRP is slowly deflationary over time. So a very minuscule amount of XRP gets burned on every single XRP transaction. So that supply will slowly taper over time. As you can see right now, there's a circulating supply of 45 billion compared to 99 billion total. So Stellar, it originally started at 100 billion and with a circulating supply of around 20 like they have now. But so the community voted to burn the remaining 50 billion. So a couple reasons I used to not like Stellar from the investment standpoint was that they had 100 billion total supply, but they also had a built-in 1% annual inflation. So the community voted out both of those. So they burned the remaining 50 billion. So now there will only ever be this total supply. And they also got rid of the inflation aspect. So from a circulating and total supply standpoint, Stellar has basically half on both ends. So if these obviously achieve the same market cap, Stellar should be worth, upwards of 50 cents compared to XRP at 24 cents, all things equal. And right now, it's worth roughly 1/3 of XRP. So that's one reason that, okay, if these both are adopted on a global scale over time for whatever use case they end up capturing, side-by-side equivalent market caps, Stellar is going to be worth more, and right now it's worth 3 times less. So from that aspect, once I found out that they got rid of the inflation and they burned the remaining supply, right now XRP has this remaining supply in the escrow locked away, and a specific amount is released every month. So anyway, there's less circulating supply now and total supply and no inflation. So all things equal, Stellar's token could end up being worth more than XRP. So from an investment standpoint, I wanted to make sure I at least included it in my portfolio because both are very tied in and connected projects, and that's what I'm going to show you next. Also, Stellar, just like XRP, governments can launch central bank digital currencies on both the XRP ledger and the Stellar network. But this article says, Stellar Lumens aims to be the basis for the digital dollar. While governments and institutions are seeking new ways to issue money caused by the pandemic crisis, Dixon emphasized that the Stellar network was designed to launch digital money such as a CBDC. All right, and the founder, Jed McCaleb, said that although the Stellar network was designed to be the basis for a CBDC, this possibility is still a long way off. Nevertheless, McCaleb revealed that the SDF has maintained contact with governments to explore this possibility. So, this is what we're being told on the surface, and this article came out in May, so not that long ago. But they are telling us on the surface that they're talking with governments about issuing CBDCs on their public network. So what do those conversations look like behind the scenes? Who knows? But both Stellar and XRP Ledger are probably the best platforms for governments to launch a CBDC on if they needed to. And I think that this is inevitable because, the U.S. government officials and so on have openly said that they're going to need help from the private sector to capture this new blockchain future, essentially. Basically, that they don't have all the correct employees and tools in place to build out this infrastructure, and that they are going to need private companies to do so. All right. So both of these, Ripple and Stellar, have a great opportunity there. And not to get it off on too long of a tangent, but I think that this could be one reason why we haven't seen any more stimulus checks, because they're proposing issuing a CBDC, a digital dollar, to get it out. And also, I think that it hasn't happened yet because once a country actually decides to launch a CBDC on an open public network such as XRP or Stellar, I think it's going to create a snowball effect. So, personal belief as to why we haven't received the stimulus check, as well as why no country has done it yet. Because once they do, the cat's out of the bag and it's going to basically blow up. That's what I think we're waiting on, but we'll see how everything unfolds. All right, next up, Stellar has some great connections out there. You can come to their website right here under projects, and you can see every single little company or app or anything that's being built on Stellar or for benefit of Stellar. So they have plenty of development. The only ones I'm gonna look at with you today is quickly this IBM. So IBM is a big partner with Stellar, open partner there. They're trying to help pilot connecting larger scale financial institutions to Stellar via a publicly permissioned network. So they say why Stellar. Stellar makes issuing assets easy and was built with stable coins in mind. So IBM is basically trying to help Stellar get CBDCs onto the platform, ultimately, I think is their goal together. So big, open, important partnership there, as well as I'm going to look at this Simba with you, because this is also a big deal, very connected little company. So Simba Chain was formed in 2017 from a grant awarded by the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, DARPA, to Indiana technology and manufacturing companies and the Center for Research Computing at the University of Notre Dame in order to develop a secure, unhackable messaging and transaction platform for the United States military. So Simba was originally formed to develop this secure, unhackable messaging and transaction platform for the U.S. military. And they are very well connected. So let's take a look here. Their partners, that obviously University of Notre Dame, as mentioned, Microsoft, Ernst & Young, DARPA, as mentioned. They got Consensus in there. Then they got the U.S. Department of Energy, that CAT construction company, Air Force Research Laboratory, Boeing, Consensus, America's Navy, and the U.S. Department of Defense. So clear and obvious government connections there. And, over here on Stellar's page, Simba and their partnership here is based on a platform for issuing Stellar-based assets. And they have right here a brochure off their website deploying Stellar with Simba. Stellar makes sending money to anywhere in the world simple, fast, and cheap. Now the new Simba API makes it easy for developers to build custom Stellar applications. So Simba helps people build on Stellar, and Stellar is partnered in multiple places with the United States government. So there you go. Simba, obviously a big deal here. IBM, clearly a big deal. In this article too, just a month ago, Simba payment app launches using the Stellar network. So Simba is building on Stellar, and they're well connected. And yep, that's pretty much all I have there. So another interesting thing about Stellar, a lot of people probably haven't heard of. A lot of people in the XRP community have. But anyway, there's this mysterious person on Steemit that has posted, some really interesting ideas about what the future of XRP is. But basically, I'm not going to dive into all of them. You could go check it out here, XRP Riddler Archive at dwar_Phil. So, but anyway, there's a lot of different articles and screenshots this person took of Kendra Hill's posts. But basically, they're saying that Ripple has never had the end goal of replacing Swift. Basically, that's just one of their many things they're trying to accomplish. But ultimately, that Ripple's goal is to be basically digital gold and a store of value, and to handle every transaction in the 1.4 quadrillion derivatives market. Whereas Stellar Lumens is, according to this person, going to be the one world currency. So, don't know where that is in there. There's one of these. Anyway, so yeah, I'm not going to dig super deep into this. If you want to check it out, go ahead. But basically, they're saying that, Stellar Lumens is going to be the one world currency platform, and that XRP is not trying to be a currency at all, store of value instead, and wants to tackle the derivatives market. But kind of playing all into this, again, the one world currency, right? I just found it interesting because this was posted 2 years ago, talking about this with Stellar Lumens being the one world currency. And, as I mentioned in a couple videos ago, I believe, I just found it very interesting that this Economist cover in 1988 is talking about getting ready for a one world currency. And so they got 10 in there, 1 0. Really, what I think this stands for is binary language. Computers communicate in ones and zeros only. So digital money, one world currency, and then they got this circle with a slash through it as the logo in 2018. Whereas the Stellar logo is also this circle with a slash through it. So this symbolism by the Economist, which is open, people that study research this know that they do put symbolism in their covers. It's a fact. And this Kendra Hill person is stating that basically Stellar is going to be this one world currency. So very interesting. And then lastly, I've told you the World Economic Forum has this thing called the Great Reset that they're pushing right now. There's a 1 hour, 19-minute video on their website talking about the systems needing a reset, basically. But something very interesting and undeniable at this point is in this video that I wanted to point out as well. So early in the beginning, they show all the chaos and stuff around the world, and then they got this guy with a keyboard going to push this reset button, right? And this is World Economic Forum right on their YouTube. I paused this frame to show you guys. All right, so they got the reset button, which isn't normally on the keyboard, but they also have, look at the 0. So the 0 has a slash through it, and you can tell both reset and the 0 were photoshopped in. Why? There's not. And I understand people like, man, this is just conspiracy, blah, 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 nonsense. No. All right, this is World Economic Forum. Why did they put the 0 in there? Just for fun? The 0 with the slash and the reset? I mean, it would be very hard for you to convince me that this is just there just because. That is direct symbolism. It all ties in with this circle with the slash through it. One world currency. Why did they put that in there? That's my question. I just thought that was really strange to see. So, but yeah, that about covers it for today. Ultimately, obviously I got off on a little bit of conspiracy stuff here at the end, but from a number standpoint alone, there's less circulating supply for Stellar. The supply is now capped, and it's worth 1/3 of XRP, where ultimately, if they were side by side, it should be worth more than double. So just a few reasons why I decided to add some Stellar to my portfolio. It's mostly comes down to the numbers and their connections with IBM as well as the United States government. But yeah, someone please try to explain to me in the comments how this 0 with the slash is on this keyboard and what is the point of it, other than it ties perfectly in with this one world currency and oddly enough the Stellar logo. So all right, but yep, that covers it. As always, please like and subscribe, share with your friends and family, and stay tuned for the next one.
What is a cashless society? What does it actually mean in a literal or high-level sense?
Money will become like these, relics of a different age, and will only be found in places like this. In other words, hard cash will disappear. It will become electronic, transferred by things like these.
Then Tracy is in Beijing to show us what a nearly cashless society actually looks like. Ben, good morning.
Mobile payment transactions in China reached a cumulative total of 277.4 trillion RMB in 2018, ranking #1 in the world, according to the recently released statistical report on internet development in China. As of June 2019, online payment users in the country reached 633 million. The cashless society is now approaching.
When's the last time you paid with cash? Well, chances are cash has taken a backseat to the plastic in your wallet and smartphone pay apps.
Denver 7's Ryan Luby explains the digital pay revolution and why not everyone is on board.
The cashless society, the cashless society.
The cashless society.
The cashless society is now approaching.
The cashless society.